Okay.
Like now. Like right now. What's going on,
Hey.
y'all? Welcome to another episode of Millionaire Man Cave. We're doing a special edition today. Usually our shows don't come at you actually live, but we're gonna do live tonight. We want to get some audience interaction. We want to come at y'all and let y'all know what's going on in our minds. Um, this is like wow for me because we usually don't do Millionaire Man Cave live like this, except on Tuesday nights where we give y'all like a precursor to what goes on Wednesday. And last night, y'all fools done got a little crazy on me. Donnell smiling like, you see it, Donnell? Because they was going, matter of fact, Waukesha, yes, hello, Waukesha, how you doing? She was one of the ones that was kind of wilding out last night. I ain't gonna tell you business. They can go back and watch it if they want to. But another live episode of Millionaire Man Cave. We got this tonight. Is completely different. We're gonna be a little bit more serious tonight because this is more of a serious topic that we're talking about. I want to before I move any further, let me do two things. Let me go. I'm gonna do this actually a couple times, but let me go ahead and give a shout out to Say It With Your Chest Custom Apparel. They actually made the shirt. Miss Monica Pitt actually made the shirts that you see Black and myself wearing tonight. That says "Stop Killing Us."
Word.
So definitely wanted to give a shout out. Excuse me, to Miss Say It With Your Chest. You can actually catch them on Instagram at Say It With Your Chest _NC. You can actually go to their website, Say It With Your Chest NC.Big Cartel. Have to get a quick shout out to Miss Say It With Your Chest.
That's right.
With that, but
very good sister, very good sister.
As y'all know, I can't do this show without my panel, my guest that's on with me. For those who are out there watching and tuning in, please go ahead and start sharing this video with your family. Share this video with your friends. Like us and subscribe on YouTube, as well as Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn. But let me go ahead and make an introduction to my panel who's always on with me. As always, my brother from another mother. I got my man Mike in the corner with me down there.
Yo, what's up? What's going on, family?
Mike is outside today. He's changed his background completely. My man Black is in that crappy place that he stays in. I don't even know what to call it.
It's the Millionaire Man Cave.
It's Millionaire Man Cave. And honestly, the only reason I'm talking so much mess about it now, because we ain't been in your man cave in like who knows how long.
Yeah, man, y'all gonna have to re-up on y'all membership.
Exactly.
Right.
So for those who are used to watching us every week on Millionaire Man Cave, a lot of y'all know we are actually usually in Black's real life man cave. Sometimes me and Mike have to go kicking and screaming because he got a lot of that daggone Raiders gear in there, but we know it is what it is. We have a good time in the man cave.
Yes, we do.
So, as a matter of fact, speaking of the man cave, we got to get my man Donnell. I got to introduce my man Donnell. My man Donnell is in the DMV. He ain't got his turban on today. Last week he was looking like a thug. He had a bandana on. I don't know, what Donnell was, what Donnell we were talking to. So, we got Donnell in the building with us today. Appreciate Donnell for coming through as always. We got Donnell. We are going to have to get you your Millionaire Man Cave cup, so that way you can be sipping in style like we do.
About to say, fill it up while you're at it.
Pour your own troubles.
On that,
Pour your own troubles.
Yeah, but I got you, brother. Exactly. We He missed that. He missed that one because that was matter of fact, that's actually next week's man code. We're gonna talk about that next week. Pour your own daggone troubles.
That's right.
Exactly.
Lord knows we got enough already.
Exactly.
For me to be giving you more, so you do your own.
Exactly. So, man, y'all, let's go ahead and get into tonight's topic. What's going on, Lynette? I see you in the building. Let's get into tonight's topic. We're talking about being a black man in America. Usually, on Millionaire Man Cave, a lot of our topics, I ain't gonna say are funny topics because we actually address some real life serious stuff in Man Cave. For those who don't know the premise behind Millionaire Man Cave, Black, can you explain what Millionaire Man Cave is to our viewers?
Well, Millionaire Man Cave, first of all, you see the man, in Man Cave, you got a man.a.n. That's Men About Nuptials Cave. And what we're doing is we want to address some of the issues that we may have experienced, people we know who have experienced, just general questions. And our goal is to try to help men not lose all their money due to divorce and separation and such things, because we do stupid stuff in a relationship and loosen our pockets. So hold on to some of that money. And most important, the only way we can build anything here is build it together. And when you got a strong foundation as a family, you can build a lot. And so that's what Millionaire Man Cave is about.
There you go. So for those who never knew exactly what Millionaire Man Cave stands for, my man Black just gave y'all the definition of man cave. So this is actually your introduction or your view into a real life man cave. A lot of the conversations that we have are conversations that we truly have actually sitting in a real life man cave. This is just y'all's glimpse for women, and for the fellas, y'all feel right at home. So go ahead and invite, all your husbands and the guys into the building, because we getting ready to have a serious topic tonight. What's going on, Renee? I see you in the building. We're talking about being a black man in America, y'all. This is the tough one. We're usually talking about relationships, and honestly, this is relationship driven too. But we usually talking about relationships, and we answering question of the week and a lot of that good stuff going on. But not this year. Tonight our topic is a little bit different. We started out with 2020 and the whole coronavirus, the whole COVID-19 thing, and being locked in the house with our spouses. I think everybody on this panel was actually married. Despite whatever happened last night, we all still married. Again, if you don't know what I'm talking about, yeah, go. Y'all have to go back and rewatch that episode, because that was crazy. It's on YouTube and it's on the RATV app. If you have not downloaded the RATV app, go ahead and actually download the RATV app and subscribe to us on Instagram as well as on YouTube, Relationship Entertainment Television. It is a lot of great content that's out there. And we are going to ignore Black. We're going to ignore some of these comments tonight that go in left field, because we ain't going there.
Hey man, I can't, man. I can't. Man, I have to, man. I'm sorry. I got ADD, man.
Okay.
I got ADD. Anything distracts me, man.
Ladies, gentlemen, go ahead and subscribe and invite your people in. If anybody has any questions, go ahead and type them in the chat. We answering questions tonight. But if you have a question for our question of the week, we usually do our topic of question of the week. Go ahead and submit that question in via video. You can email it to info@re-tv.net. Black don't even got the remote tonight to put it on the screen, but I went ahead and did it for you. It's info@re- Oh, he got it.
I got it, man. I got it.
He got it.
Right.
It's right there. Go ahead and submit your questions. If you have a question for question of the week, to info@re-tv.net.
Right.
That's usually what we usually do about this time. But tonight, again, we're going to do it a little bit different. This is a special episode of Millionaire Man Cave, live on YouTube Live and Facebook Live and the RATV app and so forth. So tonight we're talking about being a black man in America. As I mentioned before, y'all can see me and my man Black got our shirts on that says "Stop Killing Us," that were donated and sponsored to us by Say It With Your Chest. So don't forget to hit them up. I'll put the information back up on the screen in a little bit. But y'all know that's been a theme. I can't even say the past couple years, the past couple decades, the past couple centuries, where we as black men have been killed. That's one of the things that's actually bothering me now. And it's the fact that it seems to me like people think what happened to your man George Floyd was something that was recent. Like, oh crap, police are just now killing us, or police are just now, doing us wrong, and those type of things. But that's something that's been going on for years, like straight up. I mean, like centuries, way before I was born, way before
Right.
like my grandparents was born, and obviously, how you think we came over here in the first place as African Americans. So this that's all not new of what happened to George Floyd, and I really hope as we get this message across about Black Lives Matter and everything like that, that we don't lose sight of the fact that this is something that's not new, and this is just the time that we really need to step up and actually make that change.
Right.
Yeah, so that's really what it is. What's it like being a Black man in America, y'all? It's tough. And matter of fact, let me ask this question before y'all answer that question. Let me ask this. I know. So everybody knows what's going on. Mm-hmm. Myself personally, I got 3 boys. I got a 20-year-old, I got a 17-year-old, I got a 15-year-old, and I have a girl who's about to be 15 next Tuesday. And I'm married. So that prefaces, what my life is like. Black, you got kids, wife?
What you got?
But no, I'm the reason I'm prefacing this because my question, the question I'm going to ask is about the conversations that we have as men to our children, especially whether you have and whether our conversation differs from having a boy to having a girl. Like, are we saying the same? Are we having the same conversation about being Black in America that we're having to a female, that we're having to a male? Because sometimes we go through the same stuff, and there are times, especially as a Black male, we go through different stuff. So that's why I asked that question. So again, Black, what you got, brother?
Well, man, I have a daughter and a son. And my daughter is 12. My son is 17. He's a senior in high school now, and just countless of nieces, nephews, and young cousins, and just young family members who look up to me as a they have fathers, but as a father figure as well, because that's how I interact with all children that I come in contact with. I always act as if I am their father, because wherever my kids are, I want somebody to look at them as if they are their father too and treat them the same way. Yeah. And my message is a little bit different than what I see that a lot of people are feeling at this moment. I have the compassion. I have the same pain, and that a human would have when you see someone brutally murdered, raped, taken from their families, chained, brought to another place. I mean, that is tough. But my message to my kids is, through all of that, we are still here. And if you know me, anytime I say something at the end, it's always going to be keep on keeping on. Right. And I think at this point in our lives right now, as a Black man, it's tough. It's been tough. But you know what? We got to be tougher. And we have to, it's a good time. It is a good time, because guess what? I would not want to be anything else on this earth other than the Black man that I am. And I'm not going to let oppression, racism, I'm not going to let bigotry, I'm not going to let ignorance, I'm not going to let any type of nonsense take away the essence and the beauty that God has bestowed upon me as a Black man. Because what man does not dictate what God has for me.
Man,
and that's just
amen, brother.
That's the message that I dictate to my kids. So, are we pissed off? Yes. Are we mad? Yes. But we are highly favored, and we are blessed, and we still here. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm still kicking, and I am not going to let the death of any of my family. I have family members that we have not seen since 1973. They go, they leave. You never know what happened to them. Speculations. I've lost family members. One of my cousins, man, at 23 years old, man, lost his life to it. Somebody shot him in the back, man. And I promised that was the last time I was going to ever be a pallbearer. And, I just want to be out there, man. So, I want to take up all the time. Let somebody else talk, man. I'm going to get on my thing, man, and I'll go crazy.
And we got time tonight, but let's go ahead and,
Okay.
let's go ahead and move on to right beneath me, my man Donnell. I was asking, just to set the foundation for everybody. What's it like being a black man in America? Tell everybody, I know you're married, but you got kids. How does that go?
A lot of I feel like a lot of preaching and talking, man. I hear you, Black, but I feel like our children are our children, and they're not as, I don't know. I feel like they're just naive. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, as racism does still exist, without any of this, with George Floyd going on, like, I don't think that my 14-year-old walks out the door and think that something that he won't come home today. You know what I mean? Because it's just not, when we live in a black community, in the suburbs at that. And so, a lot of his surroundings are that, you know what I mean? But it's the fear is what happens when they turn, 17, 18, when they're making decisions on their own, you know what I mean? And that one bad apple, is targeting him. You know what I mean? Or him and his friends. It's scary. I mean, being a black man in America, man, especially with kids, it's a lot of teaching, and telling them to make smart decisions and telling them, what to do in these certain situations. Things that, I feel like privileged folk don't have to worry about.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You're right.
Yeah. He hit on some things we're going to talk about tonight. He definitely hit on some things we're going to talk about, especially because Black, you and I are neighbors. Literally, we literally live across the street from one another. And we've had the conversation about where we have decided to live and the environment in which we bring our kids up in comparison to where we actually were raised. Being in Birmingham and myself from the DMV, from Landover, Maryland. And with Donnell still in the DMV and Mike also from the DMV. So we're gonna talk about those things, Donnell. Good points. And my man Mike, go ahead and hit us with, what's on your mind.
So being a black man in America, first, my background, I guess, I have, not background, but, where I'm coming from today. I have a 15-year-old son and a 17-year-old son. I have a 8-year-old daughter. So, and I'm married. Being a black man is hard, being number one that model, because my kids aren't with me all the time. So, I have to show what I can when I can. I have to, as we were saying earlier, I have to preach to them. I have to talk to them about things. My wife talks to them about things, about how to act. We were very purposeful. I live in the suburbs of Charlotte now. We were purposeful of where we moved to. We wanted to be in a multicultural neighborhood. We didn't want to be in an all-black neighborhood. We didn't want to be in an all-white neighborhood. We wanted it to be multicultural because their lives are multicultural. Unfortunately, the police departments and some of the people who enforce those laws don't cater to every culture the same. So our number one thing to our sons right now, and my daughter too eventually, is make it home. We want you to make it home alive anytime you step out this house. And that's kind of where we're coming from and where we take it. And being mad is an understatement. I mean, this has been going on for too long. Like Black was saying, I mean, it's been going on for centuries. I got on my Harriet Tubman shirt tonight. We out. You know,
Yeah.
It's an understatement to say that I'm mad. It's an understatement to say that I'm angry. I'm upset at the state of America in 2020. You know, I remember, and I don't want to go too far with it because I know we got a whole show to go.
Oh
But
no, you good? Go ahead.
I remember thoughts of when I was a teenager and when I was in my probably 20s of life, you know, and where we were headed to. This was before Barack Obama, you know, just where we were headed to. And I didn't expect for the life of me in 2020 to be where we are. So
As far as is that a good thing or a bad thing? Because I mean,
bad.
in some instances, we've come a long way, but at the same time, we ain't gone nowhere. So, I mean, it depends on how you
Exactly.
look at it. That's what I'm asking. How you looking at it?
I'm not looking at it as a positive thing.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
we have come a long way. I talked, you know, I have a lot of friends who are, you know, different cultures, different religions. We have come a long way as a black people, as black men, you know, specifically. However, we haven't come far enough. My number one, I guess, thought process through all of this is my age. I'm 47, well, about to be 47. And when I was younger, you know, growing up in PG County, Maryland, cops were horrible. They were out for teenagers back then, and you know, especially black teenagers. There was a lot of police brutality. A friend of mine lived right around the corner from me, got his jaw busted by the police. He had to have it wired shut. Um, so I got to a point where in my life I thought that I was beyond that. I got to a point in my age where I thought at 40 something, I'm finally able to rest the notion that I could still get shot or beaten up by the cops. But these people that are still getting shot are my age.
Mm-hmm.
They're in their 40s. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, and below and well below. I mean, talk about Tamir Rice being 9, I think, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I I'm pissed
Right.
off that I'm still not at an age where I can feel safe. And that's what underlies my everyday.
Wow. 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 Yeah. That's tough. I mean, that's real tough. Um, and I know personally, it's tough for me as a black man to have experienced it myself, yet alone have to explain it to my son, to my daughter. You know, how to respond to the police if you ever to have an encounter with the police, whether you're driving a car or whether you're just a passenger or whether you're at a party or whether you're just walking down the street, you know, to have to explain to them, yo, you know, this is what you do in order to, like you said, Mike, come home safe, make it home.
Make
Your
it
goal at
home.
the end of the day is to make it home. My wife, you know, fears every time that I walk out this door. My wife fears, and like you said, Donnell, my boys, I got a son that's 20. I got another son that's 17, getting ready to turn 18, and I can't BS you. It gets scarier for me because I feel like, and Black and I had this conversation where I don't feel like at 20, well, maybe my 20-year-old, he gets it a little bit more, but I don't feel like at 15 and 17, they are as street smart as I was at 15 and 17, where they
Yes.
knew what to do or not, or don't know what to do. And
Right.
so I have to have, you know, I think all of us really have to have those tough conversations with our kids, whether it's our daughter or our son, because our daughters are dating black guys that are just like us, and being around them, and also Sandra Bland, you know, getting caught up in
Breonna Taylor.
situations. Exactly, Bronte. Exactly. So, they're also getting caught up in situations in which we have to have those conversations with them on how to react, how to respond, how to quote unquote play the game. And I hate saying, why do we have to play the game as African Americans? Why can't we just be who we are instead of play the game in order so that way we can make it home safely at the end of the day to our families?
As American citizens, we are
That's,
American citizens too.
exactly.
Don't feel like
Exactly.
it sometimes.
Nah, not at all. Not at all.
Vote.
Black look like he about to go in. Go ahead, Black.
No, I'm just. I mean, it's just. I agree with what everybody is saying, and the more we talk about it, the more it just disgusts me about. Man, I just like our ancestors, man. That some of them came over here, in some horrible conditions, and to have them think that some of those same conditions and mindsets still exist 450 years later. I mean,
Right.
that is, man, and at the same time, I'm building on that because I'm looking back at our ancestors from all those years back, and looking at them and saying, man, you endured some of the most horrific things. And you know what? I can push a little bit harder. I can do more. I can teach another kid. I can reach somebody. I can do a little bit more for my community and my people to push forward and push past these ideologies that we have called racism. And I'm not just talking about black kids. I'm talking about all people in and I think one thing that we have to do is it's all good that we having a conversation here with us. But us ain't gonna change nothing until we get everybody in the conversation. And I
Yeah.
think that is very key right now that's going on in the world because we have countries all over the world talking about Black Lives Matters. And that's a powerful thing. So we have to capitalize and make sure that we are communicating to get as much as we can. I mean, a beautiful thing today I saw in Charlotte, man. They painted a whole city block in permanent paint,
Mm-hmm.
permanent traffic paint.
Mm-hmm.
If you're on the internet, Google the mural on is it South Tryon Street?
Yeah, stop
Yeah.
trying. I'm
South
down here in
China.
Charlotte. It's dope.
Black
'Cause
Lives Matter. It's huge. It's a whole city block long. And guess what? You didn't just have black artists out there. And
Right.
I'm not saying just art is going to make the change, but that is just one tool that we have in our belt at this particular point to move forward. I don't know how we end this stuff. And I don't even know if you will end racism.
Mm.
But we can
I don't
make
know.
progress forward.
Considering the
I don't
fact that
know.
racism is centuries old, it ain't nothing new. That's my point. None of this is new. None of this started with George Floyd. George Floyd, unfortunately, was a key puzzle piece in helping us get the movement started. And I can't even say get it started, get it reignited because it was started a long time ago. Get it reignited.
Right.
Unfortunately, he had to lose his life in order to get this whole change possibly started.
So
Right.
it makes me think about Emmett Till.
Okay.
I mean, black people were getting slaughtered, but it took Emmett Till's mom to put him on display for the world to see,
Right.
for the world to come in and say, it's not right in America. And right now, that's George Floyd. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
For whatever reason, it's come about that his death, along with these others, I guess, maybe so frequently or because it happened, you had three, Aubrey, what was his last name? Jackson. Um, but
Ahmaud Arbery.
Ahmaud Arbery. Thank you, thank you. But with him and Breonna Taylor and then George Floyd, like back to back, it just was like that fed up point, and it struck the nerve of the world.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy because as men, go ahead, Black.
I say, and it's also happening almost in a perfect storm because right now the world has slowed down.
Mm-hmm.
In other situations, I'm going to work, I got this, I got that, but now
And you
you got
ignore the
millions.
news. You ignore what goes
Ignore
on
the
because
news.
you're so busy doing everything else. But COVID-19 hit and slowed everything down. So you
Slow
had to pay
everything
attention.
down. People at home, no sports. There's nothing to I say I got ADD. I do. I think I do, but my ADD has been focused now because I have no sports. I have no entertainment. I have nothing to pull me away from that. And this stuff hits so hard. Um, if there is something, I think Latoya said, what do y'all think is the first step in Black Men Uniting?
Yeah, there's some
Just
questions out there.
uniting.
Yeah,
Yeah, uniting is number one. And things like this for us to come together uh, and talk about it and show people that, hey, look, we're not the problem. We are the answer to this racism. Now, don't get me wrong. I ain't never killed nobody in my life. I ain't never had desire to kill nobody of another race in my life. So when I say we are the answer, I don't mean that as if, because the answer is stop killing us. The answer is stop being so bigotry. Stop being such a. I'm trying not to curse, and I don't know how to do it sometimes. But stop looking at us as if this stuff is 3/5 of a man. What the hell is that?
Right.
Our women won 3/5 of a woman when you was raping her.
that's right.
You know what I mean? I look
We're
at my skin color, I
targets.
look at my hue, and it just sometimes, man, it just wow. I mean, how we get like this, man? This years of rape. This years of all kinds of stuff. And people when they don't, it's so easy to turn your head and say, "Oh, it's not that bad. They're good." You got look at this guy. He lives in our neighborhood. That's bull crap, man. That is
Yes.
total bull crap. And we have to, first of all, show people that we ain't playing. And I think a lot of bull crap that we do as Black men, we really got to step up to the plate. You know what I'm saying? I love Steven Jackson, man. One thing he says, Steven Jackson, NBA player, he said he's saying something that takes guts. He said, I did not want this position. It just happened, but I am going to embrace it. And
Okay.
embracing who we are and what we can do once we get together, I think that's one of the first steps that we need. And I encourage all my brothers and sisters, hey man, if you work for someone, you got to do what you got to do. But start your own economic power in trying to do something on your own. I'm not saying quit your job. I'm not saying go AWOL. But what I am saying, put it some in you where you can say, hey, I can do this on my own at one point. I think that's one thing. And if you're around me, that's what I talk about. I talk about empowerment. I talk about getting out here and building. I'm not talking about woe is me. Because I got too many people I know that's dead that can't
Right.
do what I want to do. So,
Amen.
I mean, I think that's the first step, what I'm saying.
So I
Okay.
definitely want to get in before we before the night is over. I definitely want to because I'm a big proponent of action. Right? We can talk all day, We've had this show. Women's Champions had their show. We've done RATV Presents. There's been stuff on YouTube. There's been stuff on NBC, ABC, CBS, Fox, all that other stuff. And there's been conversations that's been going on since hell, whenever. So I definitely, before the night is over, I definitely want us to, let's start to think about things we can actually do. From
To unite.
We can put. This is a start, but we definitely got to think about what action that we can take as brothers to start to make the change for us as black men in America. And that's initially why I brought up our kids, because I believe, the impact and what we can do. Yeah, we can impact each other, but we can also have an impact on our kids. What I was going to say was, as a black man, I think what a lot of women don't get, and we're going to take it to relationships right quick, as husbands, as boyfriends, as men, what a lot of women don't get, us as black men, we have so much weight on our shoulders that a lot of people don't get and a lot of people don't see, right? We not only have to be providers, we have to be, comforters, we have to be security, we have to be that first role model to our kids, so on and so forth, right? We have a lot of stuff to think about. We even have to, when we walk out of this door, we have to look after ourselves. We have to be that macho man. But yet at the same time, we're still being hunted. We're still being preyed upon by outside forces. So when we come home, one of the last things that us as black men want to hear is, arguing, bickering, fussing and fighting. We want to come home to a house where we can feel comforted and secure. Well, let me just say that. Me as a person, as a black man, I want to come home to a house where I feel comforted and secure. I deal with enough outside of this house in my 9 to 5. Yes, I own this network as relationship, entertainment, television, but I still work at 9 to 5. I deal with enough what I got to deal with at 9 to 5 from people that don't look like me. I deal with enough of people from outside of this household dealing with police officers and going into retail stores being followed around just because of the color of my skin. I don't want to come home and have to deal with a lot of the same stupidness that I got to deal with out in the street. And so I think a lot of women don't understand a lot of the pressure and a lot of weight that we have on our shoulders as men that we have to deal with. It sometimes when we do come home, we tired, we snap, we're annoyed. They say, oh, men don't do nothing but play video games. Sometimes I don't play video games, but for those who do, sometimes that's their outlet from dealing with what they had to deal with all day, and they got to come home with you, with asking your husband to cook. Are you asking him to now? He got to come home and and be a parent. He got to go home and look over homework. He got to come home and do this, that, and the third. There's a lot that we deal with as black men in general that I think people just don't understand or see.
Okay, right.
And if I'm the only one, then it's me. But I personally feel like we have a lot to deal with as black men. Donnell sitting there putting on his lipstick.
Zipping the lips. Zipping the lips.
I got you.
Oh, okay. Come on, man. Jokes. Yeah, jokes. Yeah, we do. But that's life. That's life. Our women go through that as well, and
yeah,
they go through that as well, man, and they probably go through a lot more than we do, and I just know, as far as if we talking about relationship, let's just get together. If you're able, I think one of the major things is that we have to, this may be a little bit advanced, but I don't know how advanced it is, but, first of all, I say we got to get out and we got to change these laws that are right now on the books, man. And we do that with our voice. You got to get out and vote, man. You got to vote. Like right now, lynching and things of that nature is not even I don't even think that's a
hate crime or
it's not even a federal crime. It's not a federal crime. And so as long as it is on a state level, then you can have your state bureaucrats and your state good old boy system, uh, suppress what needs to be done. That's why the guys down in Florida with Aubrey were able to stay home for 2 months because people suppressed that. If that crime, whenever someone, law enforcement, affiliated with law enforcement, or hate crime happens, whether it be, I don't care. I'm not just saying just white on black. It could be anybody, any type of hate crime that is taking place. The feds step in and they investigate. It can no longer be something that's handled on a local level. That has to have federal attention, and especially number one, if it's a cop killing an unarmed person, somehow it has to be more eyes on that case than just local eyes.
Yes, I agree.
You bring one, I'm not saying that's going to change everything, but I tell you what, it will shortcut a whole bunch of this bull crap.
It's accountability, Black.
This accountability system. I mean, just do that. Let's start there. Let's start making these penalties. I mean, I'm not. I haven't. Somebody help me out. I'm not. I don't watch the news day in day out, but I know they did charge the rest of those guys with in the Floyd case, along with the first cop. I think they put him up to second degree murder.
Yes,
they did.
And the others are accessories, or what? I don't know the charges.
I don't know the charges for the others.
But those. Hey, look, those things, they need to be daggone up. Those charges need to be as strong as they possibly can. You know, it don't take them. Hey, look, if I go out there right now and I kill somebody, it don't take them a month to come up with a case. They got me charged tonight. Why is it taking so long to build a case on these guys? You see what I'm saying? That's one step. So if we pissed off about that and we're upset about, why they ain't been charged, then who's doing the charging? Those are your attorneys, your district attorneys, your prosecutors, and all that stuff, man. We got to get that. We got to get that better, man. We got to get better with that. And for us, we always look at the big people. Go ahead.
Black. Say it again.
Yeah.
Who district attorneys and who else?
District attorneys, prosecutors, man, we got to get all those, man. We on the state level, because right now these crimes are happening and they're being handled by local attorneys and then the state attorneys. If it's if it gets that far, but what I'm saying, we got to have federal people step in.
Okay, so here's
regional.
my thing. Here's my thing.
Okay,
this is my voting spiel. And I don't know if we're coming up with voting later or not. But this is my voting spiel. A lot of us, in particular, Black folks, and I can't speak for other races, I can't speak for other cultures, but a lot of us think that it's all about voting for, those top positions like president, and things like that. But it's not. It's like Black was saying. You gotta, every year, there are mandates, there are laws, ordinances, things that you can vote on. There are prosecutors, district attorneys, all those people who can protect you. You can vote them in office. You can vote for the ordinances and the laws that protect you, but you've got to vote. So it's not an every 4-year thing. It's every doggone year. You've got to pay attention to what's on those ballots, and you've got to get out and vote.
Oh, so not to cut you off, Mike. I guess my question would be, why don't Black folks vote?
I can tell you now, a lot of us don't feel like our vote count.
Disenfranchised.
That's it. Number one.
Yeah.
Number one. That's it.
Yeah.
I hear it countless times. I've had people in my family tell me, man, I ain't going out and vote. They don't count our vote anyway. Ain't nobody out anyway. I don't want to vote for either or neither, none of them.
Or Black, because I've heard not just us, but I've even heard celebrities say, well, I ain't voting because what I want ain't on the ballot, or you don't have a Black agenda. So because you don't have a Black agenda, I'm not voting.
Right. And you know what, man? But we coming. We coming because, you know, right now I got one of my homeboys I used to coach high school football with, Marcellus Harrison, man. He's running for mayor of Newport News in Virginia. And then I got another homeboy I played college football with, Jonathan Hunt, he's running for elected. I got to get it straight, down in Georgia. He's one of my. I played football with this guy. I know both of these guys personally. So that's why I say, you know, a lot of times the message is what we're not doing. And that is sometimes overwhelming, but it's just like compound interest. The more, just that 1%, we just got to get better by 1%. And that 1% gap becomes huge when it's consistent. So I do understand my people that say it ain't nobody that I want to vote for even running in my district. I don't even know what they're running for. Listen, people are stepping up. People are stepping up. We got to encourage those individuals who we may think that may be good enough to speak our word for us, and then anoint them and appoint them to that position you need to run.
Right.
You need to do this.
You don't think,
you know what I'm saying? Leadership ain't about what they call you. Leadership is about how people push you. When you get appointed to a position, that's when you're a leader. And so I think we need to start recognizing people in our communities who represent our views to run for those situations and get in and make a change. I mean, those are just some simple things, man. Just on a local level that I'm proud to say, hey, man, I support these cats and want to do as much as I can to help them, because I know once they are appointed, they're going to help the communities that they in. And all we got to do is just keep building those numbers.
What was the question, Donnie?
You don't think ignorance play a role in people not voting?
I was about to say, I got that, Black, but I can tell you, and I'll be the first to admit, I don't know who the hell's in my own damn district here in Concord, North Carolina, dog. A lot of us don't know what's going on in our own area. We don't know. We barely part of our own HOA in the neighborhood we live in. Yet alone who running for the daggone your district attorney or if it ain't on TV, if it ain't a commercial or somebody who got money to put it on TV or a flyer in your mailbox or something like that. A lot of us don't know until we go to the poll and they handing out, hey, vote for me. Hey, vote for me. Hey, vote for me. When we out heading to the poll, a lot of us don't know. It is a little bit of ignorance, Donnell. You're right.
I'm about to say, outside.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I agree.
Being a grown man, a successful grown man, you know what I mean, college degree, whatever, you know, on our own. But just imagine what, like, telling an 18-year-old to go vote. You know, I think the limitation is what you learned in high school. And I know for me, I don't really remember or recall what government or social studies, you know, looks like. You know, how does that equal real life? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm trying to say? Mm-hmm. Like your high school, your middle school and high school education in regards to going to go vote, and how these positions of higher power or government impact you and your community. I personally don't know that. I mean, I'm starting to, you know, research, and that's another thing too. Like, I feel like, you know, when you have these voting ballots, like, you have all these people on here and you can't even Google their name and see what they stand for.
Right. You're right.
So you know what I'm saying? So it's almost like you only going to vote for who's popular.
Or whose commercial you done seen on the TV a couple times.
Exactly. And that's wealth. That's wealth. Well, that's who has the most money.
That I would suggest to our viewers is that, hey, listen, here's one thing you can do. You can Google and go to my Board of Elections. And if you go there, it will tell you who.
It's everybody who's probably watching.
She didn't went off. Hold on, Alexa, shut up. Nobody actually go there. All right, yeah.
No. What I'm saying is everybody who's probably watching is either on Facebook.
My Alexa came on and went to the board elections for me.
Everybody who's on here watching now is either on Facebook or Instagram and or YouTube, my bad. And on Facebook, they actually have a section, believe it or not, where you can actually look up. It goes by, because you know your smartphone knows every damn thing. It knows where you live, and it can literally tell you on Facebook who is in your district, who is running for what, and what they stand for on Facebook. They actually have that on Facebook.
I'm about to
You
say
ain't
too,
gotta
Ty,
go.
you even got individuals who vote Democrat just because they're Democrat. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? They'll vote Republican just because they're Republican. Like, it doesn't matter.
Stupid
Like,
and dumb.
you can't sit here and tell me like I'm a Republican, I'm going to vote for Donald Trump and say that I made the best move ever. Like, no.
Oh no.
But you got people like that though.
Yeah. But okay, so I looked at it. It's called Town Hall. It's called Town Hall on Facebook. If you go to Facebook and look in your menu area, it's called Town Hall. When you go into Town Hall, it actually tells you exactly what you are looking for as far as your local government. So you don't even have to go far anymore to figure out who is in your local government, to find out who you need to be voting for, what they stand for, and things like that on a regular basis. One of the things that we as a black community always be fighting for is legalize weed. Y'all don't even know if that's on the daggone ballot, because you know
Because
y'all
you don't
looking
pay
for a good
attention.
agenda. Y'all talking about we getting locked up for simple petty, drug crimes, for selling, a nickel bag of weed. But nobody sells nickel bag of weed no more. But nobody sells nickel bag of weed. But y'all, you can go on here and find out exactly whether it's on Facebook or, like Black said, the government website to tell you exactly what you should be voting for.
What is it
Here's
called?
what I'm so. Here's
It's called
another
Town
thing.
Hall on Facebook. If you go on Facebook and go under your I don't want to show y'all all my information, but if you go into Facebook and go to your menu, and you should be able to select more, and then go to Town Hall. When you go to Town Hall, it comes up with all your information of where you live at. Like it says find, follow, and elect your elected officials and government services.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check
Ty,
that
that's
out.
action. That's an action. So if you're watching this show tonight, one thing that you want to do, just make how to move forward for us as a people and do what we can do. My dad always tell me, man, don't tell me how much help you need until you help yourself. Look, what you done did for yourself. So for ourselves, let's find out. You may not know anything about your structure in your district or your community or who those people are. But one thing you can do is make an effort to find out. And like Ty said, use the town hall. On Facebook, I have no idea what the heck that is or how you do that. But I do know you Google elections anywhere and you look that up, you will find you will find the ballot that's coming up. You will find previous ballots. You'll be able to look up these people. You'll get to their own separate sites. You can go to Facebook pages. You can do all kinds of stuff from that to look these people up. And if you don't see somebody who you like, then we need to start thinking about finding some people who we might think will be good. We got great people who are, we need to advance our people. We got people who sit on some school boards. We got people who are principals in schools. We got great doctors, dentists. We got even law enforcement people who may be a great fit for some of these positions, but sometimes they need encouragement. We need to be that V formation with the ducks or the geese. We need to be squawking, pushing that person in front. That's why it's so important, Ty, that we push you out. Because you got this platform here, RETV, man. And I just want to be that duck squawking in the back, like, keep on going, keep on keeping on, man. Make this happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
Yes.
I'm just so proud of that, man. That's why I say I'm proud at this moment. Don't
Keep
get me
on
wrong.
keeping
I'm
on.
not saying that I am. I don't teach my kids, what to say and what to do when they get out. I got a young black male, man. My son went out the other day, drove for the first time in 3 months, and when he left, I just, it was may the force be with you, baby, because I know the force been with me my whole life. And I know God ain't gonna let me down and let you down. So, hey, I'll see you when you get back, man. And like you say, it's scary. It's scary letting your kids go out.
It is.
But I'm not gonna
Make it
with
home.
a spirit of fear. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. We got too many good things that we got going right now, and I don't mean that to belittle what is happening, but we have to know. In order for us to change, we have to understand that we are the change agent. And that means a whole bunch of different things to a whole bunch of different people.
Yeah, so I mean,
Okay.
'cause even in that, because Latoya made a great suggestion. She says, "I have a suggestion. We should start having a buy black party." I'm starting here in one in Texas. My friend sells life insurance, and his wife has a skincare line. He's in Houston. I'm in Dallas. They're driving here for me, but I'm going to have at least 20 people with me that can be their new clients. That's an investment for us all. Connections equals economics. To your
That's
point,
right.
Black, we have to be able to start, doing and building our own. A lot of us, so much of us, rely and depend on, our 9 to 5s. We depend on other people. We depend on, somebody else to do it. You mentioned having somebody else to run, somebody else we have to be able to start doing for ourselves as well in our community, whether that's, building our own grocery stores, starting our own networks, cutting hair in our own barbershops, starting our own banks,
Yep.
whatever it is. We have, being our own farmers. We have to start doing this stuff on our own, being our own insurance salesman. We was promoting earlier, old girl who did our shirt, Stop Killing Us, with Say It With Your Chest Custom Apparel. We need people who are, doing our own things so that way we can support and continue to uplift and build our own stuff, no matter whether we're out in the suburbs, Mike, or whether we're in the city of the DMV.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta start building and doing our own. My man Black owns, a franchise for a carpet cleaner company.
Two of
Two of them. Two
them.
franchises.
That's
We
right.
gotta
We
be
gotta
able to start,
build.
we gotta start supporting us.
That's right.
So yeah, man, that is one thing. And go ahead, Darnell. I'm sorry. Go
I
ahead,
was gonna say
man.
it doesn't, to me, it doesn't stop with that. Like, I feel like, we have to now teach our youth how to be business owners and how to,
Absolutely.
and how to build generational wealth. I think overall, we as Black people, we, in numbers wise, we don't have anything.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
Because we
And
spending everything on everybody else's dollar.
exactly. So yes, that's a great point to, do this Black party. But I feel like, it can't just stop there. Like, you, I myself, like, I wanna be a business owner. I'm not educated enough, you know what I mean, to start a business. Not saying that I couldn't get it done, but I
I
feel
was about
like,
to say, hey Donnell, you got two people right here on this call with you, on this video with you right now, who are business owners, who would say, if you reached out to, would be like, yo, we got you. So
see,
you got to be
Network.
educated enough.
You just have to decide what you want to do, right?
there
And be
we
like,
go.
yo, Black, I need help. Yo, Ty, I need help. And I guarantee you, one of us got you, or if not, both of us.
And say, when I get that feeling. So now,
I mean, we got a lot of resources. We have a lot of resources that that we're untapped. They say people use 10% of their brain. Well, I don't think Black people use 10% of the power that they have economically. We give it away,
Okay.
like y'all said.
That's
We
deep.
don't even tap 10% of our economic power that we have. We're talking about trillions of the black. I mean, I don't know what the
That we
number is, but
spend. That we spend.
it's
Yeah.
way more money. I put it like this: it's enough to get every Black person in this country $1 million. I can tell you that. We spend that much. We spend that much. I tell you that.
Yeah.
And so, man, I'm just excited. I'm glad that Ty, we were able to have this conversation. Black man in America. Man, I mean, it's so many thoughts going through my head right now. You got, you got. We talk about, in the news, Colin Kaepernick been coming up like he's some type of Nostradamus or something like that. Like, wow, oh, we see what he's talking about now. You know what I'm saying? And man, and I will say out there to anybody who's not understanding what's going on with being a black man in America. Let me help you out. Me and you, we join the military. We go out and we fight against the evil forces of the world. I call you brother, you call me brother. We see some of our brothers die. We haven't seen our families for months, maybe even years. Our tour is over. When you get back, you treat it as a hero. When I get back, I'm another nigga.
That's right.
Yeah.
And until you understand what I just said and how that is working, man, you just don't understand. You still killing them. You still dogging us out. We serve our country. We fought for this country. We gave, man, I got countless number of people in my family in the military. I got people in my family that are police officers. But yet and still, even after all that, if they don't have that uniform on,
They're black.
when they step out, yo,
Yeah.
when they step out, they got their baseball cap and a t-shirt on, man, it's almost heartbreaking what could happen to us.
So
Yeah.
I got a couple friends. I got a couple friends who are officers, and one of them put in a little chat the other day, just something about the whole point of him being an officer, and I'm trying to remember what angle he was coming from, but I can't remember that. But I do remember my response was, "You're black before you're blue."
Right.
There's too many instances we've seen in the news where officers have gotten on the wrong side of somebody else's law department because they just saw a black man. They didn't know that they were an officer. They just saw a black man.
Right.
And we're a threat for whatever reason. We're a threat to officers.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And don't get me wrong, because I've had this conversation with my wife, and I've had this. We started out with this whole thing about having a conversation with our kids. I had this conversation with my son as well. I get it as a police officer, because I know officers. I got relatives that are officers, things like that. You are on edge because you too want to make it home to your family safe at night or during the day or whatever the case is. So I get that part. But if you aren't mentally there for that job, you shouldn't have that job.
That's right. I agree.
You shouldn't have that job.
You're right.
Yeah. That's and so I get it, but at the same time, I don't think a lot of these officers, a lot of these cops, a lot of these people are mentally there to have the job that they have. But they do.
And they feel like, and this is the accountability part, a lot of officers have that authoritarian type of attitude. They feel like nothing is going to come about them no matter what they do. And we have to start holding our officers accountable for the things that they do. And I think that that's what's starting to happen now. That's the turn that's starting to, that's the tide that's starting to turn right now. We have to hold our officers accountable because they're human too.
They got to start holding each other accountable, though, Mike. I'm gonna be for real. They got to, like we had this conversation the other night. I think it airs next week. About accountability. As my brother,
right,
I gotta hold you accountable to what it is that you tell me you are doing. If
Right.
as a man I see you married and I see you out there doing dirt, yo, bruh, that ain't what's up. I can't get down with that. If you're gonna do that on your own. Do that. Don't do that with me because
Right.
you got a wife and the kids at home, and that ain't what's up. So as police officers, as law enforcement, as not and I say law enforcement because it ain't just police officers, as prosecutors, as judges, as whatever they gotta start holding each other accountable. Yo, you know that wasn't right. You know that ain't right. Why are we defending? Why are we acting? Yo, get off of him. Get off of her. Why are we? That level of prosecution needs to be higher. Nah, everybody got to hold each other accountable.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
You're
I
right.
got homeboy. I play high school football with, man. One is a couple of them. They sheriffs down in Alabama, man, Birmingham, man. Well, not in Birmingham, in the Birmingham area, but I mean, man, I've sat and talked with them, man, and I know for a fact that they do it. You know what I'm saying? They've had to do some very tough situations where well they had to call out some people, man. And so you do have uh, cops that are doing it. We just need more. We need more, and we need to have it more prevalent than what's taking place. We need to speed that up. I mean, when I was in the school system, I mean, two of my best friends in the whole school was my SROs. You know, my SROs in the school, and that's school's
Okay.
resource officers. And we sit down and talk, man. It was a point where they used to come talk to me just to talk to me. Like, I mean, we brothers, man, and they see stuff that's going on, and I mean, right now, when a cut is open, any pressure hurts,
Yeah.
and right now, we got a lot of our brothers that are out there who are, in law enforcement, man, and they catching a bad rap, um, for what's going on with some of these cats.
Right.
And I just don't want us to get to a point to where we are ostracizing us. And when I say
Right.
us, I just don't mean black people. I mean, when I say us, the united standing of people who say enough is enough with this racist bull crap. That's what I mean by us. You can be
Okay.
white, you can be black, I don't care what color you are. If you are standing and you're saying, hey, look, it's wrong. It's wrong, man. I mean, I had a couple of my white partners reach out to me, man, and say, hey, look, man, I'm sorry. What you sorry for? Because I realized, we take a look at our people. If we go back, 4 or 5 generations, me and you ain't friends.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If I go back a couple of 100 years, we would probably be at each other's throat. You probably want to kill me, and I'll probably be doing something bad to you. Until everybody understands and has that empathy about what's going on, man, we still have to have those general conversations and have the conversations with our counterparts, man.
Yeah.
And we got to get them involved, man. This is not the point to ostracize them for the ones who want to do right. We got to do right. We got to help them do right. And for the ones who doing wrong, all I say, we just keep on keeping on, and we be the strong black men that we are, and we be the strong black people that we are, because everybody got to pay your due. You got to pay
Yes.
your due. So that's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying.
And that's
So
kind
before
of like.
we wrap up tonight,
Oh, go ahead.
let's go around and give me your final thoughts on where we are as black men in America, and what we can do, an actionable step that we can actually do moving forward. That's because again, we have to take that personal accountability, and we have to hold each other accountable on what we can actually do moving forward in America, in our neighborhoods, in our communities, in our relationships, because it starts with us. I think Donnell or Mike might have mentioned it starts with us, and we teaching our kids, we teaching the youth, and we're doing what we're doing in in the community as well. So what can we do? What are y'all's last words, and what can we do as black men in our community?
Okay, I'm gonna start it. So
All right.
and I touched on it earlier with the vote.
Okay.
My thing is, what can we do? Our first step is voting. Voting in every election. And my wind chimes are going off. I don't know if y'all can hear
I was about to say, dog, you got a storm coming through your way?
it. But voting. So as I said earlier, every election is important. Every election is super important because you're not just voting for the president, you're voting for ordinances on the local level, you're voting for laws on your state level, you're voting for the people who you want to represent you in that state level. You voting for people who you want to represent you on that federal level each and every election. And it's kind of like what Donnell was saying with the ignorance part. Ignorance is a lot of times thought of in a negative term, but it's not ignorant. I mean, it's not a negative term. Ignorance is just not
Just
knowing.
don't know.
Yeah, it's just not knowing. So we have to take it upon ourselves to get that knowledge. So those websites that you guys mentioned earlier, that's the first step. We have to know what's going on so we can make these laws change so that we can get the people in office who are going to represent us. And that's my first step.
Mike, I just want to piggyback on what you're saying, man, because that's so key. Because see, they have not had to change their game because we hadn't changed ours. Because
Right.
if we don't get out and do what you just said, well, they have a system now where all they say is, oh, well, we know how to keep it suppressed. We just get our people and we make the laws and we make the rules. So that then when we can now force that upon people. So we got to force them to change their playing book, their playbook. And one way you do that is get out and make a vote. Now, as we start coming out and we start voting on more and more regular basis, you see all kinds of stuff start happening. Mishaps. In Georgia, they making people, the polls shut down yesterday in Georgia. They got people standing outside 3 hours because they see an outrage of people want to vote. You got to make them change the game. And you can't change a game in the last inning and expect to win. So that's one surprise method we have, and I like that, Mike, and that's vote.
Yeah.
Yeah. What say you, Donnell?
I say, we have to change the mindset of not just adults, but our youth. I go back to it being a slave mentality. You know what I mean? When, you are putting your dollars in businesses like your McDonald's and your Taco Bells and your Chick-fil-A's and all of them are Trump supporters. They don't understand what that does. And it's always like if a black person start a business, they never have anything. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like they don't understand the economic impact that we have to change, in their own communities. So I mean, I just think that on top of educating, our youth and our adults who just don't know about, going to vote, but also, the economical piece of it as well.
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely have to educate ourselves on what goes on in our communities. We definitely have to educate ourselves with our history. We definitely have to be more of a support. I know you were mentioning that, Donnell. We have to be more of a support to one another because we don't support each other as black people. We are so much against one another that it's not even funny. We have to support one another, and as my good counterpart would say on Women's Champ, Latoya, we have to support good quality. We have to hold each other accountable for quality. We can't sit here and think we got everything and we want to give half-ass work. We want to we have to do quality. We have to live up to doing our best at all times. And as Will Tiff just said, we have to also teach our youth, because they have to get excited. They have to get upset. They have to also see what it is that we are fighting for, because we don't want this just to end with our generation.
Right.
Yeah.
We have to educate our kids. We have to let them see what it is that's going on in this world. Yeah.
So Arthur Lynette asks a good question. I mean, I feel like as supportive as you want to be to your fellow black, folk, the McDonald's franchise is just that. I mean, they're making money hand over fist, but they still pay like franchise fees, and I'm pretty sure that they don't own the real estate that McDonald's reside in.
Right.
So,
yeah.
So my thoughts are, you know what I mean? Especially if you own the McDonald's franchise, like you could start and you should start there. Like, understand, what that business cycle is, make it better. You know what I mean? Like, branch out on your own and do big things, and again, go back to educate other black people on how to be successful black owners.
Gotcha.
And I would say this, as a franchise owner, I own two myself. Listen, a lot of times when we see a corporation, when you get franchises, I want to say you got two sides. You have the corporate side, and then you have the franchisee side. Now, these franchisees are completely independent. They own their business. They own those. So, like Lynette said, you don't want to ostracize the people who who own these franchises. You want to support them. You really want to support them. And that's just being educated. Every last franchise has who owns it. You know who owns it. Actually, the two McDonald's closest to us are owned by a black man.
I was about to say that's one of the things that we got to do, Black. We have to. You mentioned earlier, and Toya asked this question earlier as far as uniting. We have to unite and stop being so separated and come together and build that list. Mm-hmm. So that way, when I come to the DMV, I don't go to McDonald's personally, but I can patronize a McDonald's or whatever business that is black owned, whether it's franchised or whether it's grown from the ground up. We have to I can't come to the DMV. I ain't been there so long. I got to call down there and be like, yo, what's the black owned business in the area, bro? I'm trying to eat. What's the black owned? Holler at your girl right quick and ask her what's the black owned nail salon. My wife trying to get her nails done right quick. We need to be able to have something. We can come together and be like, yo, when you come to Charlotte, I can tell you to go hit up X, Y, and Z shop. I can tell you, if you're looking for T-shirts, go hit up Say It With Your Chest Custom Apparel, because she's black owned and she has a business. We have to start uniting in that fashion, so we know which franchises to hit or custom businesses to hit.
So I asked the question, and this might not be the time, but being a business owner, what is the limitations to being a franchise owner, if any?
We say limitations.
Yeah.
Each franchise will be different, and you have something called an FDD, which is a franchise disclosure document, and that will constitute the bylaws and rules of whatever you can do and what you cannot do. And before you do that, you have to sign on to they're all different. They could be all very different. No two franchises are the same. So that's I can't answer that, directly. But you do have all those things will be in the FDD. And anybody can get an FDD. All you gotta do is call and say, hey, I'm interested in buying a franchise. And they cannot offer you any sale of any franchise, even if you're just looking to look at it. Anybody can get an FDD on any franchise that's out there.
Yo,
That's
like you said, when you go into these restaurants, when you go into these stores, they usually have the owner up there. They usually have who owns the store. And so,
and that's not in all cases. But you're right, and sometimes there are. Sometimes you do see their picture. Sometimes you do see their name, general manager or franchise owner. But that ain't in all the case. Why can't we
yes,
come
that's
together?
true.
There's 50 million groups on Facebook right now. 50 million groups on the internet right now of black business this, black business that, this, that, and the third. Why can't they all come together and create one list of all single businesses or black-owned businesses in the DMV, in Texas, in Cali, in Milwaukee, in Charlotte, in Atlanta, in Miami, in Orlando, in New York? Why can't we have one thing where we can go, you know what? I want to know where I need to go when I go to this area.
You want to know why? Because it's going to rub somebody the wrong way. That the fact that they're going to outline is black owned versus it just being whatever type of business it is. As
But it's
sad as
that way
that is,
now with regular businesses.
listen. To me, that to me, you're saying, you know, the difference between Black Lives Matter and All Lives Matter.
I think my take on everything is, and as we talk about this, we getting real sophisticated with trying to find out who the black-owned businesses are, and who our local government officials are. For me, I think it's very important just to figure out who we are as an individual.
Okay.
I mean, going back and trying to find out who you are, going back, finding out your relatives, going back, finding out. I mean, man, one of the things that hit me when I was going back researching my family was that time right after the Reconstruction time. And you start finding out the occupations and the profession of your own family members. And you see that some of them did strike out and try to be their own business people. And then and then you hear by stories, just for me and my family, I go back and listen to that, me knowing my history. I ain't talking about black history. I'm talking about just mine. Okay. How I got on this earth. The people who came before me. I mean, for me, that empowers me. That empowers me to want to do more and more today, because I know what other people who came before me have endured and what they have done. So I'm just saying, know yourself, know thyself, find out who you are, find out where what's in your family, good or bad, because you giving people to teach you what to do and what not to do, and we got to be thankful for both sets. And so that's why I say, we ain't got to do much. Just find out who we are. I mean, for me, that's my action step.
Gotcha. I agree, Will Tiff. Fathers staying connected to their kids is extremely vital, because without parents in the kids' lives, it causes all types of issues, whether we see it or not, whether they believe it or not. As the kids, it is important for us as black fathers to remain in our kids' lives, and even as black women. I'll say that too, fellas. I'll say that too, because that's another thing that women say. As much as we say we don't have the support of our black women, a lot of our black women feel like that we're not supporting them either. We're going out and choosing these European, these white, these other ethnicities, women. We have to support our women as well. Donnell made the big eyes. We do. We got to support our women as well, fellas. We got to support our women. We got to let them know that they are loved, and we appreciate them, and we appreciate them for what they look like originally, without trying to turn and be something that they're not. And I mean them curly ass eyelashes, that fake hair.
And stop putting your eyelashes on your car.
Man, we got to support our women, bro. We got to support our women, bro.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right.
We have to
Absolutely, man.
support
We do.
our black women. We've been, and I'm glad to see the turn. In my opinion, it's a turn. I'm glad to see the turn in our culture that we're no longer calling our women bitches and hoes, but we are, loving on them more and saluting them, and and so forth. Yeah, unfortunately, that was, our time period where we was out there, calling them bitches and hoes every 5 minutes. That it's become a normal everyday term now. Oh, that's my bitch right there.
Now, have we gotten past that because we're older? Is the younger generation still doing that?
I don't see it as much, and I try to stay in touch with the younger generation because I do have younger kids, but I don't
Right.
see it as much. I could be wrong
Okay.
though.
Okay. And that's a good thing. If it is, it's a good thing because we have to uplift our women.
Tiff says that she can see the change. She said it's a slow
Good.
turn, but she can see the change.
Good.
Mhm.
I'm glad.
So, us as men, that's another thing that we can do as black men to start to make that change. We have to support our own, and that's including our women. And vice versa, women, y'all
Absolutely.
got to do the same. As I mentioned earlier, we as men deal with enough as it is that y'all got to support us in the things that we do, and support us as y'all's black men.
Right.
Y'all gotta support us as y'all. We out here trying to provide for our families, take care of our kids, and so forth. And a lot of y'all had these little grudges and so forth. And I'm keeping my kids from you because you, whatever the case. We got to get over that hump too.
Yeah, that's a killer, man. That's a device of separation, and that's been used for us is for years. I remember somebody talking about having a show about welfare, and how the inequality of welfare is. And one thing for us to get that money, you can't have a man in that house or in that home or whatever you want to call it, in that project. There cannot be a man in there to receive that money. But when you get a farm subsidy from our counterparts, that can go to the whole family. So that family is not dismantled to get government aid. But when we get government aid, you can't be a family.
Mm.
And so those are devices that we have on the books, on laws that we gotta start playing. We gotta make them change the rule book.
Yeah.
Because long as they can hide behind the rule book, nobody's gonna waver when something goes in our eyes as wrong or immoral because it's on the books. So that's so important, man. So I don't know. I don't know where we start, but I know we just don't stop.
No, we can't stop. We can't stop. But we're getting close to that time, fellas. And as we usually do, I know this show is again a special show. We're doing it live. We usually don't do Millionaire Man Cave live except for Tuesdays when we're kind of giving y'all a precursor into what we're actually talking about the day after. We do usually air Millionaire Man Cave every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Central Time, but Eastern Standard Time, excuse me. Yeah, I said Central Time. I'm mixing the two together. But we can't forget to do Man Code. We can't forget to do Man
Man
Code, Black.
code.
We can't forget to do Man Code. We
Man
got to do
code.
Man Code before we get out of here. What's Man Code? Who got Man
Man
Code?
code. I got it. Man code for the night.
All right.
Man code. As a man, let me get my thoughts together. Don't let me hear you complaining about how bad things are. Now don't get me wrong, I know some of my brothers out there cannot do this, but you still can take action. Don't complain if you don't go vote. Don't complain. I want to hear it. Do something simple. It's very simple. Let's get out there. Let's raise those numbers. If you can't vote, and we know that that's a whole different story by why some people can't vote, but you can support. You can do other things to help this stuff change. And so I think that's it. And my thing is, I'm gonna take it even further. Listen, I don't care what you're doing. Don't complain to me about nothing if you ain't willing to do no work to make a change as a black man. Don't complain to me about your marriage. Don't complain to me about your wife. Don't complain to me about your job. Don't complain. I am not your vent master. No, I am not a. You got one time to complain to me. After that, we got to start some action, baby. And so that's all I'm saying. Don't come in with that bull crap, man. You ain't got but one time. Now let's do something about it.
I'm with you. And I think that's
Man
in general.
code.
I think that's in general. Man code. You don't come complaining if you don't got some type of solution, dog. Okay, if you ain't gonna vote for whatever your reason is that may make sense to you but may not make sense to me, what solution you got, bro?
Yeah, what you gonna do?
What you gonna do? What solution you got?
For years,
See,
man,
so that's well, I was just going to say, Black, real quick. You know, you did mention there's a lot of us, you know, who are out there for whatever reasons that can't vote, and that's
right.
that's part of that systemic racism thing, you know,
Absolutely.
as well.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can't vote, you can still help out. You can go to your local booths, you can go to your local regions and help the elderly get there. You can open up your car, you know, and take people to the voting stations, to the voting polls. You can do things. Even if you can't vote, you can still help out.
You can help educate people on who to vote for and why you should be voting for certain things.
And you might be helping your own self out by helping other people and get this legislation changed to let people who have felonies and different type of convictions, after you serve your time, go back and vote in society. That's something that can be changed. That's just a law that they got in their rule book. Because hell, here's the thing. If you incarcerate most of us over some bull crap, then we can't vote when we get out. That's the rule they made. But if we get on the books and we can start changing that rule, hey man, man, you know.
And that's the thing, because that's happening in a lot of cities, though. A lot of cities are changing the rules where some felons are starting to be allowed to vote.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. Renee said if all those people who are protesting go vote, that would be a huge change right there. And we need not just them protesters. We need the people who sit back watching them too.
Exactly. Everybody doesn't have to be a frontline person. Everybody, to Mike's point, can help the cause in some form, fashion, or another. You don't have to be a frontline protester. You can be, and nothing wrong being a frontline protester. But there's other ways that you can help. You can vote. You can donate. You can babysit. You can research. You can run your damn self. You can do a lot of stuff to help, you know, other than just being a frontline person.
Absolutely. You can run. You can run. There's no law against you running. So we got a whole bunch of crooks that's in office now.
Exactly. There's a whole bunch of people in office now who probably should not be in office because they should be locked up them damn selves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's the man code. That's man code. Let's get after it. Let's get after it.
Don't
Let's get after it.
Complaining if you ain't got no daggone solution. Go vote. Go do something. Something out there. Don't come to me complaining if you ain't got a daggone solution.
That's right.
That's man code.
Man code.
Getting help is different than complaining.
Exactly. Hey, Donnell, real talk. Hey, if you got questions about being a business owner or franchising, hit up Black. If you got questions about, you know, getting your LLC or starting a business or whatever, hit me up. Hit up Black. I mean, it's a rack of people out there, man, that will seriously help you, because we have to be able to start, you know, holding each other accountable. We got to start being able to do our own. And, you know, we can't just sit here. And my thing is, we can't just talk about it. I'm not a fan of just talking. We got to actually start putting in the work. We got to actually start doing stuff. So I really hope that this special episode of tonight's Man Code really helped somebody. I mean, Man Cave really helped some people out and understand what it is that we're doing as black men, how we feel as black men, and because that's a side that a lot of people don't hear. They say us as black men we don't talk. So this is us talking to y'all.
Right.
Hear us.
True.
Hear us. We will be heard. We stop killing us. That's the one thing we're saying. So again, I definitely gotta give a shout out to our shirt sponsor for tonight. Say it with your chest, Miss Monica Pitt. Don't forget you can hit her up at Say It With Your Chest, nc.bitcartel, or on Instagram you can hit her up at Say It With Your Chest _NC. She again supporting black businesses. We are supporting.
Let me give you a little background about her. She is not just out here, selling shirts or trying to capitalize on that. She is living this. She's an educator. She works frontline with our kids on a daily basis. I have worked with her personally. I know her personally. She's a good sister. And, while this is her entrepreneurial side, she also has a heart for our kids. She's an educator. She's been doing that for a number of years. And there are countless of kids that can add her to their list of contributors to their success. So she's a very good sister. So get out there and let's support.
Yeah, definitely support her. Don't forget, subscribe to the Relationship Entertainment Television YouTube page, Facebook page, Instagram page, Twitter page, LinkedIn page, all them good social media pages. Don't forget, y'all can support Relationship Entertainment. We've been flashing information all night on how you can financially support, because we are an independently owned streaming television network, and we are black owned. So please support us the best way that you can, because we do want to be your next NBC, ABC, Fox, BET, OWN network, and so forth. We want to be
what I tell you about that? We don't want to be none of them. We're gonna be better than all of them, man.
There you go.
We ain't fighting to be equal to a racist society.
There you go.
We ain't fighting to be equal to that bull crap. Man, we fight to be the best that we are. We know who we are, man.
Yes,
I told you about that time. Don't be. I ain't trying to be equal to no racist cops or no racist politician or no racist neighbor or anything. I'm not trying to be equal to that. There is no equality. You can't equate truth. You can't equate integrity. You can't equate your moral turpitude, stick-to-itiveness to evil and injustice. They don't equate. So we don't want to be like them.
You're right. We want to be
better. They perpetuate an image of us that has put people in a trance about us. Man, I got people that if I ain't riding around in a daggone van or in a business suit or something like that, I've had my own staff. When I jumped out of the suit, threw on a baseball cap and a polo jacket, they didn't know who I was.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to be equal to them, bro. We better than that. And I'm not saying better than anybody else, but we're better than those ideals that they portray. And this network ain't about that.
You're right, 110%, because we about positivity for starters. We definitely about positivity for starters. So
now, I ain't mean to cut you off, but
oh no, you good.
You feel me? You feel me?
Yeah, I feel you.
We got to change how we talk. We got to change how we narrate and how we present ourselves to other people. And so we ain't trying to be that. Gotcha.
Yes, I feel you.
I'm done, man. I'm done.
So don't forget, y'all, like our Relationship Entertainment Television, share, subscribe, pass it along to your friends, your family. Millionaire Man Cave is on here. We on here each and every Wednesday. Download the app to your phone so you can watch us, because this is how we get it in. Again, we appreciate each and every one of y'all for tuning in. For my man Black, my man Mike, special guest Donnell, who's actually becoming a regular. We about to get him a cup. Donnell, your cup is on the way, dog. I got a cup for you. Oh boy, okay. I gotta put it in the mail.
I'm gonna hold you.
I got a cup for you. I got a cup for you. Just gotta put it in the mail. Millionaire Man Cave, dog. I got you. Yo, till next time, peace, We'll see y'all later.
Peace.
Peace.